Alright guys, so this is going to be my review of our John Deere 6110R snow tractor. So this is where things start to take a turn for me, and I start going to what I call the dark side. I grew up on Kubota, but I'm learning to love John Deere. You are going to be paying a substantial amount more for a tractor of this stature compared to comparable units on the Kubota end of things. Now, you are going to notice some differences, and I'm not going to say if they're better or worse. I think they're more better than worse, but I would argue that they're not worth the money. Now, firstly, getting rid of just the John Deere name, the Norman 92-inch inverted snowblower is simply superior to the Kubota 92-inch inverted. This is something called a hybrid, and this basically means that this whole stature here is going to stance with rookie rods at the end. It allows you as the operator looking down to really know your corners. We've not had a single incident, knock on wood, of us backing into something with these blowers. You are able to see your corners extremely well. You are also going to have the ability to access the fan through the back there, so you can pull that down, access your fan. It assists greatly with unclogging and things of the sorts in that regard, and you're also just going to have a lot easier time reaching into that auger if you do need to, adjust things, as well as the cutting edge, which is down there, which we'll be replacing in the spring. Yeah, so that blower is 10 out of 10. The tractor itself, I would give about a 7 out of 10. Now, the tires are 0 out of 10. These tires suck. We should have ridged them. We didn't. There's zero traction on this tractor right now. But this tractor with Nokian snow tires would be perfect. Other than the only issue I have, the same issue that the M6 is facing, is the size. So as you're noticing, the stack is missing, and that is just from branches. But overall, it has a very aggressive stance, very pleasing to the eye. It sits very tall. Very large tractor. It is a bit excessive, I would say, at times, but it definitely is able to complete tasks extremely quick, topping out at a road speed at about 43 kilometers an hour down a road, which is very good for a tractor. And as you can also see, the lighting is superior. All those lights up there are LED. You're going to have lights on the side of the cab. It's simply not comparable to Kubota lighting. And this is stock lighting, actually. There's even side lights. So all 360 around you lights up. And like I said, that is huge in this game. Again, your diesel is going to be here. Your def is going to be down here. And of course, you're going to have that handy toolbox, which is very helpful. So let's hop up inside the cab of this 6R and show you guys why I love it. So first off, just take a look at this. This is how operator comfort should be. Okay, let's get in here. It's a little bit chilly. Close that door. Okay, so when you're up in the seat of a John Deere 6R series tractor, you are going to realize that there is some fine parts of being a tractor operator. First of all, this air ride seat is very comfortable. I've sat in air ride seats, but this is what air ride seats should be. You're going to have your clutch on the ground, and it is very stiff. I don't even use it. So I don't even remember the last time people stepped on this clutch, because the clutch actually engages itself when you put in the brakes. So you don't even have to ride the clutch. You can just go about your operations. When you come to a red light, put your foot on the brake. You don't even got to worry about it. Now, if you're looking to make a very quick stop and not so aggressive stop, then by all means, push a clutch in and do this. But we tend to train our operators never to really even run the clutch. Saves us some money on replacing clutches. Over here, you're going to have your buddy seat. Nice buddy seat. It's able to do both motions. So you're able to do that and that, which is nice. And this is exactly what I was recommending that Kubota do. Great storage. Put a lid on it, because they know you're going to be bouncing around. So why even let it? Put it in, close your lid, you're good to go. There's also some retractable strings here on the top, so you can put some other things like pens and paperwork, or lists there if you do so please. Sometimes I'll put a list underneath those straps there with to-do lists for certain one-time touch-up jobs and whatnot to go make the company some moolah. You're going to have different types of outlets stationed all around the tractors with nice screw-on covers in place to kind of protect them from water, damage, grease, all the different types of environments the tractors tend to find themselves in. And then you're going to have a cup holder on the floor. Now, that might not seem great, but it's actually awesome. It is a very nice cup holder. It kind of sucks in your drink, so it keeps it firm there. I had a Polar Pop, if those of you know what those are. They're sold at the Irving. So I actually put my Polar Pop in there, and I drove to a job site about 45 minutes down the road in another town. And I was hitting some gnarly bumps, and it never moved. So that is 10 out of 10 for drink storage. You have a very nice phone holder here, just the right depth that it doesn't bounce out. You're able to place your phone in there and keep it there, as well as you could set it in this cup holder back here. Now, this cup holder is useless. I will admit that. This if you put it in there, you're asking for it to bounce. But I sometimes just put my phone in there, or wallet, or whatnot. And the same thing here. You can put some shear bolts, or your wallet, or whatever you need to put in the tractor. There's enough storage for it. You have lots of different outlets and inlets back here for different needs that you might find yourself in when it comes to wiring. So we actually, in our other 6R, which is just right there, we have an LED light bar wired to the back, and we have it tapped in here to the positive and negative. Now, unlike the Kubota, you don't have a pedal, you have a hand, so you just hold that down, drag your steering wheel down, and then you are ready to operate. Now, everything moves with you on this tractor. The IntelliPanel included, whereas the Kubota, just the steering wheel goes, and the IntelliPanel stays stationary on the actual, whatever that is, the head or the frame or whatever you want to call it. This moves with you. So the IntelliPanel comes down. You're able to have, right here, you have a similar story, but compared to the Kubota, you don't have a park brake. This is your park brake. So there's no way you're going to forget your park brake on. You have to take the park brake off to engage it into first, and then engage it into reverse. And of course, neutral is in the middle here, where it can do anything. That's neutral. Or you could physically shift it into neutral, but this also is neutral. So let's fire this up really quick. All right, so as you guys can tell, the cab is what I consider to be substantially less noisy. So you're going to have the opposite of Kubota. Your left and right blinkers are going to be on the left-hand side of the steering wheel compared to the right. There's going to be no horn there, rather the horn is going to be here, but it's a lot louder. And your blink and your wiper control is going to be what is on the other side. Now, your lights are going to be positioned up here. You can engage those so you please, as well as your shifter is going to be here to engage in forward or reverse. Now, this is where I find this tractor is simply superior in operations than the Kubota. This is something called an IVT transmission. Now, this transmission is what I consider to be the greatest tractor transmission on the market for large rigs. Now, obviously, if you want something that a child could drive, get yourself a hydrostat. But honestly, if you're over the age of 5 and you have a little bit of IQ to you could probably figure out how to use this machine. Don't let the size fool you. This is a stupid simple transmission. First of all, the position of the buttons is simply perfect. You're able to control this here with your thumb, and for those of you that do not know, this lever in an IVT transmission will actually increase your road speed. So this is half speed, this is full speed, and you're able to toggle it. So the quicker you move it up, the quicker you go forward. If you slow it down, you slow right down. So you're really able to control this almost like a video game perfectly. You can get right up in close and personal to things and really maintain complete control over your operation. Now, while your hand is sitting there, you're going to have your fingers naturally resting on these 3 buttons. This button is going to lower and raise your 3-point hitch. Lower and raise your 3-point hitch. And then these 2 over here are going to control your hydraulics. So you're going to have side-to-side movement and up and down movement. Which, by the way, you can move at the same time. So yes, this is extremely convenient positioning. I like having buttons instead of levers over here to move. It is just very, very nice. Now, I have yet to encounter an issue with one of these, but I guarantee you if we got them wet enough, they would short out and we'd be in a big mess. So, depends on your personality. If you're a fix-it-yourself guy, levers are probably the way to go. Either way, I'll probably be sending it into the shop for repair if something were to happen to the hydraulic controls, so I'm a pretty big fan of the buttons. Now, you're going to have everything you could ever need on this panel here. So we like to just kind of leave it at whatever. We never really are on this screen. We're kind of at this screen here. Tells you what you need to know. You're able to control your hydraulic flow. If you want to tap that, you can adjust how quick, and so you got your time. You can adjust how quick you're able to move in your flow. And that is a sweet setting. So right from inside the cab, you are able to control every single aspect of the exterior function of this tractor. And also, if reaching up and touching the screen doesn't suit your fancy, because you can do everything. You can go to audio, you can go to HVAC, you can do everything you want from the seat. But you're also able to do it all from here. So you're going to have your toggle light control here, your hazard light control here, your volume here, your channels here. You're able to increase the fan speed. So when I tap that button, you'll notice I'm able to adjust the temperature of the cab right from here, as well as the setting that it is on. I can cycle through. We like to keep it on the window and the person, as well as the fan speed. So you're able to control how quickly the air is coming out. All of that right from your seat. You're also able to control the settings of the lights. So we don't have the lights on right now, so you can't see it, but there's a 1 and a 2 setting. So we can set a 1 setting for street and 2 for the driveway. So maybe on the street, it disengages all the large cab dome lights to make sure that we do not blind drivers. And then on 2, you can go into the driveway, engage 2, and maybe all the front lights will turn off and the rear lights will light right up. And that way you can see everything you need to see to do your job. So all the bells and whistles, this tractor's got it. You get your 4-wheel drive control there, electronic engage and disengage, and also automatic 4-wheel drive engage. So when it feels like you need the help, it'll automatically throw you in 4-wheel drive. It's not always the best at guessing it, and sometimes it can be a bit rough, but it is a very, very neat feature to have. Now, when it comes to operations of a tractor like this, it is extremely simple. You push it in to disengage the park brake, put it in forward, and you're now in forward. If you rev it up, and the quicker you move this dial forward, the quicker you move forward. Then if you don't gotta touch the brake, you don't gotta do anything, simply put it in reverse, slowly and comfortably transitions you to in reverse. This is all the way back, so the tires are hardly moving. If I move it forward, you're rolling much quicker. So stuff like this, I find, is why this tractor is insanely easy to use. It's very operator friendly, beginner friendly. It is a very, 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 very good tractor for this purpose. Again, I wish that we had snow tires on it. I wish that they made this transmission and this exact interior on a tractor the size of the M5, because I do find it's a bit big and clumsy. But overall, this tractor has been nothing but good to us. We have had plenty of EGR issues, I will say that. John Deere's do not come without their problems. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they're very much so a good tractor. If you do have the money and the funds, I would not stray against them. Anyway, I'm going to take you guys over to look at the 4 Series. By all means, stick around to see that. If you haven't seen our videos about the 5 or the 6 Kubota series, by all means, check those out as well. Thank you guys for watching, and until the next one, stay safe.